leaders lead. Let's ride. Unified leadership. Light the flame, turn it up loud, remember the name. Unified leadership. Power and pride, we don't just talk, we testify. Unified leadership. Hard and grind, purpose and rhythm, perfectly timed. Bass hit heavy, croppers and rhythm, purpose and rhythm, perfectly timed. Bass hit heavy, crowd on sway. Kosher clay, truth and play. Sifu, Rafael, calm control, leaders in sync. Hearts of gold, focus sharp, the mission clear. Every step forward, silence the fear. Discipline, dripping, confidence, how we move together, we amplify. Who we are, unified. What we lead, unified. Stand tall, unified. Every time, unified leadership. Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar. Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar. Steady and true, the sound of the few that follow new. Strong alive, this is the beat where leaders thrive. Unified leadership.
Woo! Man, bro, that's the hottest song out right now, bro. Like straight up. That's the hottest song out, man. I listen to it, Sifu, and I'll be like, man, I wonder what like Snoop, Dr. Dre, those type fellas, if they hear that, I know they would be like, yeah, that got a nice groove to it, man. It's outstanding. Good morning, my good brother. How you doing?
Hey, guess what? It's Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's still a good thing. It's still a good thing, Sifu.
If you see a black cat, just pet it. It needs some love, right?
Yeah. I'll be honest, man. That's to me. I watched Friday the 13th as a little kid. You know, when it came out, and shout out to a gentleman named Keith Skinner. We was at Keith Skinner's house, and back behind his house was the woods, so it made it even more scary, man. I remember when that movie went off, man. I ran like Usain Bolt up the street to my house, man. So Friday the 13th.
I hear you.
Wow,
hey,
man.
You and I were talking before we came on live, and we were talking about how we make it real, how we bring this show to the edge, if you will, right?
Yes, sir.
So the topic today is a really interesting one, and a lot of people may not even understand what we mean by it. It's the leadership. It's the leadership tree, if you will. It's the foundations, the strengths, and the expansion that we go through.
Yeah.
So I do have a question, not only for anybody listening, but consider this, right? If you can see your branches, but your roots are shallow, I already know what season you won't survive.
Oh man, come on.
You will not survive it, man. You will not survive it. Because you're going to be uprooted, man, big time.
Yeah, bro.
So we need to go deep in. Listen, there's a reason there's trees that are 200 feet tall, 200 years old. There's a reason they survived for that many years.
Yeah.
It's because of the deep, deep branches, right? They don't go out, they go down, they sink in. They go out as well, but they're deep.
Yes. Bro, it's an emotional thing for me, man. Just from the analogy that you just gave, based on one thing, man, like unified leadership, man. It brings something about with me, Sifu, that I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. Like it's godly, man. It's divine timing. It really is. Because soon as you said that, you talked about them roots going really deep. I thought about a young man, young Marine. A tree fell on him, man. Yeah, out in California, man. And we couldn't believe it, Sifu. Like me and the commander that I was working with at the time, Seth McCutcheon. It's amazing because him and I share the same birthday. We were born like an hour apart, same year, everything, right? But when we got the call that the tree fell on Lance Corporal Haley, shout out to the Haley family, man. I think he was from Iowa or somewhere like that. But big, huge oak tree, like you talked about. I'm telling you, man, that tree was humongous. And he went up under the trees coming out of the ground, and it kind of grew like this, and then it had just a big covering, and Marines would go underneath Sifu, and that's where we would do they had an actual land navigation box up underneath there,
Mm,
and it was a shaded area. So when Marines is out walking 6 7 miles doing navigation, uh that was a good little breeze spot, shaded spot, to kind of rally the troops back up, to step off for the next mission.
right, right, right.
There was a telephone pole underneath there, and the Marines saw it when they were going out. And they said once they got back, they were going to go back, get the telephone pole, and use it for log PT, running
Right,
with the log, right?
right.
A little small, older telephone pole. But all of that to say, bro, the Lord just put it on my spirit, man. The phone call came that Lance Corporal Haley and another Marine went underneath to grab the log on the ground.
Mm,
And as soon as they picked it up, they heard the crackling sound of the tree.
oof.
And the whole tree trunk fell on him, killed him instantly.
Oh my goodness.
Now think about it, Sifu.
Yeah.
We are sitting in the office that morning, regular morning. We get the call, and they're like, "Man, it's been a tragic accident. A tree fell on a Marine." And next thing you know, we see the medical helicopter flying over to that training ground area. We see it from outside. We go over there, man, and so again, man, this topic is so near and dear to me because it, it could take life. You know
It
what I'm saying? Like that foundation is strong for many years, strength for many years, but in that moment, and I remember, man, seeing his family come
mm,
and seeing his little brother, man, just standing there, just like my brother's really gone.
right,
But I could honestly say, Seafood, that uh I said, man, only God, bro. Yeah, it's tragic we lost his life.
right.
You would think a Marine would die in combat or Iraq, Afghanistan, somewhere, but right on our own American soil, on our own base, at our own training ground, a tree fell on a Marine. So what do I take away from that? And for the listeners out there that's with us this morning, um, yes, like it's that strength is the strength. But man, God is still is some way, form, or fashion foundational in control, man. And I thank you
Yeah.
for this one, brother. This topic right here, bro, it means something, and I'm curious to know what your thoughts and feelings are on it, Sifu.
Thank you for sharing that. And like you talked about Lance and his family and his purpose and his reason, right?
Yeah, bro.
And nobody knew that was going to happen except for
Yeah,
God.
that's right.
But if you say that it was an oak tree and it kind of curved out and it branched, structurally the roots were there,
Yes,
but structurally it was being pulled in a different direction.
yes,
That direction is eventually going to control it.
it
So if
did.
we look at life, if we look at standards, if we look in business, we have to keep an eye on the structure
Yeah, bro.
of what we're building.
Yeah,
So think about the roots, right? Your roots are your values, your standards, your faith, your discipline, and your self-awareness. So what you do under pressure, and that was pressure being put on that tree, it totally does reveal your root system because the roots in that particular tree were strong and they held on. But the weight of it, the
yes,
trunk, if you will, is what gave way.
it did.
So,
It
and
did. And
because
you could see it, Sifu, like
it went like that. It went like that.
when we went back and looked at it, you could see as the trunk of the tree fell this way,
Mhm.
all on this backside, it just looked like a big, almost looked like a porcupine of just roots on the backside of it. So the ground was soft, something. Yeah, Sifu.
Rain, it could have been rain, right?
Yes, sir. You said something very key, brother. And I was telling my son last night, we was working a puzzle. We did a 500-piece puzzle together, my youngest boy, and no electronics, no iPads,
Nice.
no social media, no virtual, just old-fashioned puzzle on the table, bro. And I kept saying
Right there. That's
every
you building a foundation with your son.
that's
That's
right.
powerful, man. That's powerful right
That's
there.
right. Every time we would just start getting pieces, bro, like moving, I would say, "Yeah, son, we're cooking now. We're cooking. We're cooking." So I'm saying to you right now, Sifu, we're cooking because, man, you said something so profound. You talked about, man, those roots, man, that foundational roots being that strength, man. The strength of it all. Uh, it takes a certain amount of you know strength that it's like just that simple analogy. We know that the tree itself is strong, the tree trunk, right?
Mhm.
That's the core, bro. That strength of that core is everything. And sometimes, more so often than not, I would say it's that particular strength of that tree trunk, man, that holds everything together, brother.
Oh yeah.
It really does. And when I look at what you're wearing today, and I literally yes, like I look at that and I think to myself, like, man, I know what you have on right now has been through some things, bro. But the strength of that trunk is you.
Mhm. Right.
That man, listen. I know if there's a leader out there today, Sifu, that looks at their job situation, looks at their career, whatever the case may be, and things are not going as to plan or according to standard or whatever it is. As a leader, they know 100%, man. We have to go, as we all say, back to the drawing board and really look at what it is and the true nucleus of everything. Before we could even get out to those branches or the wings of the airplane, we have to look internal to that engine, which tree trunk perspective is very important, brother.
Oh, without a doubt, man. I got to tell you, it's so important that you were spending the time with your son,
Yeah.
and it didn't matter the puzzle. What mattered was the foundation of building time that he will
Hmm.
never forget.
Hmm.
And we forget to do that with our teams. If we're running a corporation, if we're running a team, if we're even doing a small business, we forget to build that foundation with our
Yes.
clients. Now, yesterday, I was accused of, are you ready of this?
I'm ready, bro.
Of discrimination.
What?
I was accused of it. And it was a client because we're doing a graduation moving up. And they 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 celebrate a holiday. For them, it's a religious holiday. But
Okay.
for it's in my community, it's not that common. And we have a promotion that's happening at that time.
Yeah.
So she said, because I did not pay attention to her holiday or her religious aspect, that I was discriminating against her. And I
Hmm.
said, absolutely not. I said, listen, our calendar was created last year for this year because I don't
Okay.
wait for the last minute. I don't, and if I knew that this was going to be offensive or bad for you, I wouldn't have done it. I would have picked another date. But I said, I already have tons of other people committed to this particular date.
Hmm.
And so she accused me of not respecting her religious rights. And she said that I was
Ah.
discriminating against her. And I said, that's never, listen, uh,
Mm. 'Cause, mm. 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 Mm.
I started my martial arts facility in 95. right?
Wow.
That's 31 years ago. And I've never been accused of discriminating. I have every kinds of religious people in my facility, ethnic. So there is no one that I have ever said no to or ever even loved. So, but my foundation is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
And she was upset. It made me upset because she said it in front of other people.
Mm.
And instead of me fighting with her, I said, listen, I'm really sorry you feel that way. I said, I'll figure out what we can do. So when she left, I said, let me put together an email that will say, this is what we are able to do. I'm not changing the date, but I said, I can maneuver some things and kind of help you out. I said, but I do not appreciate that you said that I was discriminating against you when I didn't even know that this was important to you. I
Right.
said, I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't set the dates because I said, oh, I'm going to upset this person. So for me, my foundation, the roots of who I am as a person, I'm not a bigot. I love everybody. Brother, you and I are not the same color, but guess what? I don't see your color. I
Right.
see your heart. I see your heart.
Is she African American?
No, Muslim,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Okay.
And I have other Muslim. I have other Indians in there. I have other people. So I've had people where you could barely see their eyes, right? Because
Right.
they had the whole. I they're my clients. I
That's
love
right.
them all, right? And
Right.
whether you're Chinese, Spanish, African American, you see people that even work for me are African American, right?
Man, Sifu, listen, man. I'm not cutting you off, sir.
Okay.
I'm just adding on as an African American man, unified leadership, the leadership tree, foundations, strengths, experience. Uh Sifu, I know you, bro.
Mm,
It's almost to the point I wish I was there because and I'm saying on a positive level, bro. You know us, Sifu.
I,
We're positive. We try our best to build on all that is positive,
oh yeah.
and we try to destroy the negative moments. And you did that when you said, "I'm sorry that you feel that way," and you didn't get in all hasty and start losing your bearing and all of that good stuff, bro. You handled the situation like a professional just based off what you're telling me. But I
Mm,
wish I was there because if I looked at her and said Bismillah Irrahman Rahim, she's gonna look at me like, oh,
I'm looking at you now.
she's gonna be like, are you? And I would tell her, no, I'm not Muslim. I'm a brother of this gentleman, Sifu Rafael. But I understand what Bismillah Rahman Rahim really means.
Mm,
And I've traveled the globe and I've been around a lot of Muslims. I've have some of my best friends that are Muslim, i.e. Ibrahim, out in Cairo, Egypt. We talk at least 2 to 3 times a month. And he always opens up with Bismillah, Rahman Rahim, Tio
mm,
Clay, how's Kizzy, how's the family? So I say that just the dialogue, it puts it at a standstill because now, we're talking about God here.
oh yeah.
It's just spoken differently.
Hmm.
I've had issue, Sifu. You've met my father. Unified leadership, bro. You've met my dad.
Oh yeah.
you know, Growing up as a clay, Muhammad Ali becoming Muslim, I heard my own pops a lot of times. Like, oh, he on that old Muslim garbage. Don't nobody want to hear that. I respect him in the ring, but he denounced our name. And
Mm,
as far as I'm concerned, the hell with Ali. My dad doesn't feel that way today because again, he's learned a lot more. His brain housing group opened up a little bit more and expanded, and he realized over due time that, you know, who am I to judge that man? So, man, that I know you, Sifu. I know you. You said it. I'm not a bigot. You are not a bigot. You are not a racist. You are not let me go and pillage off of other cultures, and that's not you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate
Dude,
you.
I've seen you as the only guy of your descent with all brothers. I've seen you like I've seen how you move, bro, and it just again, man, we're experiencing seafood right now, as you and I both know. We're experiencing a lot of divide, brother,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
people are looking for the reason to try to say it's you, not me. People are really looking for it, man. So I'm curious to know how did it end? You know, did you
I
get a
don't know yet.
response?
I
Oh, so
sent
you still
I sent an email and I said, listen, this is what I can do for you. I'm
hmm
going out of my way, right? Because I didn't know I offended you. I had no idea. And I said, this is a solution.
hmm
I would love to help you with it. But I also let them know that I personally was offended to be called out like that
yeah,
when you did it in front of other people. And I said, if you want to have a conversation in private, I'm more than happy to do that.
sure, yeah.
We don't need to bring other people into this mix, right? So the reason I brought this up is because I want to share with people that if you need constant validation, your roots are weak. If criticism shakes you,
Oh man,
roots are not deep enough. So this is why I brought this up, right? Because I wanted to talk about that. You and I will always be critiqued.
always,
People
bro.
will judge us. People will
20,
judge your color.
24/7.
People will
24/7.
judge me. I look white. I am Spanish.
That's
People
right.
will judge me the minute they know I'm Spanish.
That's
They'll
right.
judge me because I'm a man. They'll judge me because I'm a this. They'll judge me because I drive this type of car or I live in this
Yeah.
type of house. We're going to be judged left and right. And if we allow the judgments of others to impact our lives, we're forgetting the biggest judgment that really matters, and that's the one from God.
Come
And so
on, bro.
therefore every day I do everything to honor the only one that should be able to judge me, because no man
That's right.
ever judge me,
That's
for
right.
God is my judge.
That's it, bro. And I know that seafood. That again, I know the stream numbers don't always tell the truth of who's watching, who's listening, right?
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Emilio Roman, our He-Man brothers watching. So we know we're in a safe space with Emilio watching, and Emilio knows this safe space, bro. As
Mhm.
He-Man brothers, dog. Last night, I promised the Lord God on everything I love, man.
Mm.
I was going through all the old pictures from down in Fort Lauderdale at the He-Man conference, right?
Oh yeah. Those are good pictures, by the way.
Oh man, bro, like last night it touched me in a way just looking at those photos and looking at the times, man, of today all the way back to those moments. One key thing I always think about is when the conference was over and you all was moving tables and chairs way over to some other building. I remember that
Mm.
because that just we show up to serve, bro. We don't show up trying to take from the foundation of what's being set. Dr. Reed had the foundation in his mind to say, "Hey, man, He-Man brothers," and for Christmas, I'm gonna show you, Seafood.
Okay, I'm listening.
This is what my children bought me for Christmas. This is the only gift I got, bro.
What? Nice.
The good old He-Man, bro. They got this for me, and my sons was like,
Hey, I
"Dad,
think they're gonna bring a movie out of it. I think they're coming out with a movie. That would be cool for all of us
Yeah,
to go check
that
it out.
would be amazing, bro. But just stay on topic, man.
Yeah.
The He-Man brothers, those moments, man, from Benjamin to Big Mo to uh, you know, Andre Butler, Coach Murray Garvin, man. Man, my brother, it was special moments. And just looking at those photos last night, I remember how much it impacted Daniel Pewter.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan is a good friend of mine, and he told me things that I've heard you say out of your mouth. Our other brother, Licio, Louis Alicio, is part of the Born to Risk with us. I've heard you gentlemen humbly say, I don't feel worthy. Like you gentlemen just have such a humble spirit. You three have a very kindred spirit, Sifu. Yourself, Louis Alicio, and Daniel Pewter. Now you and Daniel both are fighters. And that's why we said on one of the early unified leaderships, like, as nice as you are, Sifu, bro, nobody want to run up on you, dog. I know that personally. So same thing with Daniel Pewter. He's a big guy, as we all know, but the foundation, it goes back to just God getting the glory and really being who you really are. And it's, I won't say that I'm appalled, but I do know, like, it's, man, I wish I was there, bro. I just wish I was truly there, bro, because it's like, it, when someone is walking in the foundational root of God and their strength is God, no matter what happens, bro, that's the natural default. The natural default, and you exuberate that every aspect of your being, bro. Like, you drove us around New York City, bro, like we were superstars, bro. Like, straight up and down. Like, anybody that was in that van, Martha, shout out to Martha out in Chicago, we all felt like superstars because of you. You're going back and forth. You're going back and forth. Fort Lauderdale, Florida was the same thing. Me and Mo going back and forth and hosting, and it's special, brother. So the end of the month, man, Tampa, it's for a purpose. It's for a reason, man.
It is.
It really is. In the foundation of it all. Why did you and Lancelot start the NYC experience? The root, the tree trunk. The tree trunk of that, I remember how happy I was. Same thing, shout out to Reverend Emilio when him and I started Roll Call, bro. Like, it's the foundation, but the extensions, it's like, man, wow, okay, podcasting, speaking, writing books,
Mm-hmm.
networking. You got all these tree branches that come off that tree trunk, and those roots for us tie back to He-Man, bro. Whether
Yeah.
Dr. Reed's around, whether he's not. Shout out to Dr. Oliver Reed.
Love the
But
man.
we all love you, man. Matter of fact, I'm posting a picture of him and I today. When I
Hey,
was
guess
working.
what? I'm going to
Yes.
stop you right there.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I did a show with Dr. Reed, and I'm going to publish it right now on, are you ready? Apple Podcasts.
That's
So
it,
you go to
bro.
coaching. I just hit the button just
That's
now.
it. That's it, bro.
It was in 2024 that he and I did a show, and it was live, but I didn't
Yeah,
post it on any platform. But I'm doing it right now. I just
that's
did.
it, bro. And
So
that's the
go to
that's
Coaching Call, and you're going to
yeah.
hear the show that he and I did together.
I'm listening to it today, bro. That's the tree trunk, man. Like, you know, Dr. Reed is now, I could say it, he's working on a book with Coach Murray Garvin.
Mm,
He's working on that right now. And Murray's going through that tree trunk of, hey, bro, Dr. Reed's going to get it out of you. Like, and we're not just talking about basketball here, brother. We're talking about the things that, again, like I told Murray out of the depths of my heart, I said, brother, God's going to get the glory. You're going to go through things writing this book, bro, that you've never experienced in your life.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest things that you've experienced is all going to be put in one mixing bowl when you sit down and start putting this book together. And I tell you, man, we've all experienced it in our own right. And those foundations, man, like I was really on drugs, Sifu. You know this, like straight
Mm-hmm.
up and down, bro. And when I see people that I personally know that are coming out of that today, I saw a girl. Her name is Sheila Hagans. Hey, shout out to Sheila Hagans, man.
Yeah.
I saw her on Facebook yesterday, face looking fresh. And she said, I'm 22 days drug free for the first time in 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And I the euphoric feeling that I felt in that moment, I was just like, wow, sister, you can do it, man. And I know you can do it, but you have to be strong in the roots of your foundation. When I
Yeah.
think of your root, Seafood, when I read your chapter in that Born to Risk that night in New Jersey, God changed everything on my spirit and said, you're going to talk about Seafood getting back up. That's it. And I have to adhere.
Mm.
And that moment was so, man, oh, Seafood.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
When I looked at you, I was just like, wow, man. So and I see you, bro. Like I want you to know that today, Friday the 13th. Some people look at this day as, oh, it's spooky and hey, bro. I look at
Beautiful day, man.
it's another day that God has given us the opportunity to wake up, to smile.
Mm.
Robbie Lytle just posted something on Instagram talking about gratitude, man.
Oh yeah.
Just being grateful. And I tell you, man, every time I look up and I see you, I'm grateful. I look up, I see, Dr. Reed. I'm grateful. I look up, I see Lancelot with the ill glasses. I'm grateful. I can't get involved in a lot of the hoopla that we've been seeing over the last week, man. It's sad how one event can send a shockwave uproar across the nation,
Oh
bro.
yeah. Without a doubt.
And that foundation is being shaken up, bro. And if you're not strong and rooted in the spirit of God, bro, not carnal spirit. If you're not strong in the spirit, man, you'll get caught up in the wave. And I know with you, Seafood, that's
Mm.
something that going through that experience, that's perfect fitting for today's topic, brother. That
Yeah.
experience that happened up there at your spot, like you said, 30 years, and you've never had someone to specifically say you're discriminating, and the way you handled that situation, brother, is real leadership. And I believe there's going to be a blessing that's going to come from that,
Always
in
is. It
some form or
always.
fashion, brother. Yeah.
Listen, um it probably had to happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it had to happen to me because that person is a good person,
Right.
right? They were clouded
Yes.
at the moment. And so that's why I opened it up with, I'm willing and able to have a conversation with you if you prefer.
Yeah.
I didn't say, oh, please, I don't want you as my client anymore. No,
Right.
none of that. I said,
Right.
I love them. I still, it doesn't change my judgment as to whom they are. They're just, like I said, a little clouded. And you talked about Dr. Oliver Reed and the He-Man and everything, and you talked about him being the trunk, and I 1,000% believe in that. But think about the trunk carries everything. It
Yeah.
carries vision. It
Yes.
carries the pressure, the
Yes.
responsibility. And when you think about that, that also it carries emotional control. So the decision is easy when you're making it about you, your foundation, which is your roots. And then when you start to build out, it does, listen, it's not roots and branches. It's that trunk,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
That is strong, right?
Yes.
And when there's a crack in the foundation, or if there's a crack in the body, if you will, the trunk, other things are going to start to collapse.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So, and there's everybody. We don't know what somebody's going through. We don't know
Yeah.
what's in their inner trunk. We don't know if they're going through divorce, heartache,
Right.
sickness, whatever it is. So when somebody lashes out in a negative way, and if we take it for the surface level, what we're doing is we're not giving space to say, hey, you know what? Maybe this person is in pain.
Indeed.
Maybe they're
Indeed.
lashing out because it's the easiest thing for them to do. It kind of makes them feel a little bit better. But I don't listen. When you see me and when anybody says hi to me, how you doing? I say exceptional and getting better every day. Now, if I'm not exceptional and getting better every day, I'm going to allow all the outside circumstances, all the outside clutter, all the outside noise to interfere with what God has in store for me. It's my
Right.
mission. So if I say I want to help as many people as possible, and somebody comes at me and I don't help them, even though they were trying to hurt me, then I'm not doing the right
That's right.
thing by God.
That's right.
I listen, a lot of people, and including my fiance, which you met,
Yes. Shout out to Melanie.
she says to me, why that person doesn't like you? That person tried to hurt you. Why are you still so nice to them?
Yeah.
I said, because I forgave them
Yeah.
immediately. I don't have to think about it.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
I don't carry it with me because if I carry it with me, what did I just do? I gave it power. I don't give power to nonsense,
Mm.
right? I don't. And so think about the foundation is something that we start with. The trunk is something where we make the deep and hard decisions, and then we take everything and we put it out there. Those are the branches.
Yeah.
That this is where your true communication is under fire. If you lose communication, if you lose composure in your trunk, it cracks. It cracks. And that's what happened with poor Lance, who lost his life because that tree, the minute it started to curve, it started maybe like this, but it
Yeah.
never straightened
Over
back
time.
out.
Over
It never
time. Yeah.
straightened out. So what happened? It was going to eventually it was going to come down,
Yeah. It
and
came down, bro.
it came down unfortunately on him,
The
right? But
wrong time, bro.
at the
Like,
wrong time. Listen, and
but
maybe
it was in God's timing, though, Sifu. Yes.
exactly,
It was in
exactly,
God's timing.
right. So if you think about if you think that safety is of most important to you in your life, then you need to live in a bubble.
Mhm.
But even that bubble is going to get punctured.
Indeed.
So don't live in a bubble. You need to be uncomfortable for greatness.
Come on, man.
I've never met a great person who was never uncomfortable, a great person who didn't outdo everyone else.
Right.
Right? Look at the basketball players, the best ones, right? The GOAT.
Yes.
Who's the GOAT? Come on, you know it.
Michael Jordan, man.
Did he suffer? Did he go through discomfort? Did
Yes.
he get rejected in high school?
He played
Because
during the flu, Sifu. He had the flu and he still played.
look what happened to him in high school.
He
He was
got
not
cut.
he was,
He got cut.
he was not allowed to be on the team.
Excuse me. Yeah, he got cut, bro.
Why?
Sifu, can I say one thing, bro?
Yeah,
There's
brother.
actually two things, and I'll be brief with it. One, we've been talking about Dr. Oliver T. Reed. You know, he'll probably see this. So, hey, Dr. Reed, we love you, bro. You know that.
We do.
And there's times that, hey, you come up in the spirit and we're going to speak about you, brother. It's out of love. You know that. One thing that Dr. Reed and I really started harping on in a small nick of a time was rebar. So that same root system under that big, huge oak tree, when you're talking about a foundation of concrete, you have to have rebar. If you don't put that rebar down in that concrete, bro, it's you on sinking sand basically. That's the only thing that's going to hold that foundation together. And we were looking at it from the scope of we have to be the rebar because things going to always somehow, some way get shaky when you're moving in the righteousness of God to the best of your ability. Things are going to happen. Everybody's been saying it over the last year. Life is lifing. Life is lifing. It's the truth. And are you going to be that rebar, that foundational strength of whatever happens when the boat starts to sway, right? That's number one. Number two is the expansion. The last piece of this puzzle that we're talking about this morning, Sifu, the expansion, the leadership tree, foundations, strength, and expansion. I look at the expansion of, man, I'm gonna be in Florida this weekend with brother Sifu Rafael. Well, not this weekend, but the end of this month.
Yeah.
You know, and I know for sure that expansion only came about because the strength and the root of the foundation. There's people that you know that was in the beginning, Sifu, that you're like this looking around and they're nowhere to be found.
That's right.
We've been saying it for quite some time. And this is no braggadocio, but it's the truth. The eagle on the ground, the only other animal that will challenge that eagle is a crow. That crow will come up behind that eagle, keep pecking it in the back, and the eagle won't move, Seafood. That crow will just keep, but the eagle will not move. The eagle's just kind of standing up, you know, chest poked out, like, okay, I feel you, crow, you on me. And then it'll take off. And that eagle, once it takes off, that crow's behind it, brother. And that crow will try to stay on it until it gets to that altitude, brother.
Not
to where that crow just can't handle it anymore. And the crow sucking for wind, and then it just bang back, do a U-turn, and that eagle will continue to soar. In this life that we live, I'm not talking about business, you all. I'm not talking about just sales or marketing. I'm talking about in life.
Yeah.
Because like my brother Sifu just said, you all, you don't know what people are going through behind the scenes. Everybody on social media, whatever, that's fine, man. Everybody has their aura, but you never know what people are going through. And the expansion of using God in everyday purpose, man, is so important. Like it is extremely important now more so than ever.
Oh yeah.
And I thank you, Sifu, once again, because when I look at what you have on right now, it is symbolic to me of all these pieces simultaneously coming together. The wax on, the wax off. Danielson didn't understand why he was doing it, bro, until it was time for him to just muscle memory. Like, oh, Sifu, man, you're a special dude, man.
I appreciate you, man. I got to tell you, if you look at the second one that Jackie Chan did with Karate Kid, right?
Yes.
And where he has him put the jacket on, jacket off, jacket on, jacket off, jacket on. He's like, what the heck? I have to put the jacket on, jacket off. And then eventually when he actually uses it to fight, boom, it all hits home.
It hit home, man.
Listen, leadership it's also, we got to consider that because we are talking about leadership as well, right?
Yes.
And all the foundational aspects of leadership, it does start with what is the story, what does the story need to continue, what are the stories that come out of it, and where does the final ending of that story, because whether we like it or not, everything has an ending.
Yes.
Everything. Listen, there was a store here in Long Island, and it was called Utopia.
Mm.
Utopia was a place that you can go get all kinds of weird stuff and this and usually it was not a store for kids, and it wasn't a porn store or anything like that. It was just a store with funky stuff and all this stuff. But the concept of it is that you can get almost anything there, every funky thing and whatever. I've never been to the store, and the store was for years and years and years, and you would never imagine that store is gone now.
Mm.
Utopia. And we all think, oh, wouldn't I want to be part of Utopia? Wouldn't I want? And there was the name, perfect name, Utopia. But they lost something along the way. Maybe
Mm.
their prices were too high. Maybe they didn't listen to their clients. But when we think about leadership, it's about that, right?
Yeah.
It's not about volume. It's not how much more junk or stuff I can have, but it's about the stuff that people need.
Yes, bro.
That's about
Yes.
the grounded presence in your business, in your leadership. And you
Yes.
talked about Dr. Oliver Reed doing a book with
Murray Garvin, Coach Murray.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I met him in Florida.
Yeah, you met
And I
Murray.
would
Yeah.
I would love to have him on the show as well. But here's the thing. For those of you listening, or if you hear this on the replay, DM us, either one of us, and let us know if you believe we need to do a leadership book.
Yeah.
Coach Bill Clay and Sifu Rafael.
Yeah.
I think that's in the works. I think it has to be. And it's going to be an incredible book. I can already tell because the foundation is there already.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
It is. It
So
really is.
you're going to write a book with me, brother?
Hey, bro, listen, man. Man, you're in Long Island, New York right now, man.
Mhm.
Like I've been there. I've seen it with my own eyes. Yeah, I know how I felt when the Uber guy dropped me off and I walked in the building and I got to see 30 years of legacy, man. You know, and I told you that, Sifu. Like I repeat it because it's the truth, man. Like, bro, I'm so proud of what you've accomplished, man. Because I was able to get a little insight into the foundation of who you really are, bro.
Mm.
Like this ain't no fluff, man. We don't come on this show on no fluff. If for anyone listening to the stream, if you're riding to work right now, the gentleman that I'm sitting with right now in this hour is a phenomenal man. And you operate at such a level that is so important because I've seen you in so many different facets, brother. I've seen you when we're in New York. You're home, so it's you're home. I've seen you in Philadelphia. I've seen you in Florida. I've seen you in different places, Atlanta, wherever. And it's like you're the same person. You're giving. You love people. You understand, man. One of the most keen things that's really important to me is you're sober.
Oh, yeah.
You're not operating from the drunken master. You know what I'm saying? I like the drunken master. I like
Oh, yeah,
watching
no
the
doubt.
old drunken master style. I
Hey, you
like
know
that.
what? I have a drunken form. I have drunken form, believe it or not.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. But hey, man, I just doing a book together, bro. Like it's sacred, man. Dr. Reed and Murray called me and was like, "Hey, bro, what was your experience with Dr. Reed?" And I was able to share with him the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to tell him, like, hey, bro, like, I highly recommend Dr. Reed for you to uh, put one of the most important aspects that you will ever do, your legacy, on paper with that man. Same goes for Emilio, man. Like, if anybody else in the world asked me to do a veterans project, anthology, I wouldn't have done it. Trust me. But
Mm-hmm.
because that foundation and he's my He-Man brother, I knew that no matter what snares and toils we may deal with, bro, people, attitudes, why's this and why's that? And I knew the foundation of what we all share is He-Man brothers, dog. Like, you know,
Yeah, I love
I
it. Love
I
it.
knew. I said, man, listen, Emilio, we're He-Man brothers. And what we're doing, God gets the glory. And as long as God's getting the glory, man, I'm with it. And the same goes for you and I, bro. You
Mm-hmm.
know, some people, man, I'm saying we, listeners, viewers, we sometimes are our own worst enemy.
Oof.
We, as in our own internal,
Yep.
and you could on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as in today, you could go listen to brother Sifu Rafael. You could listen to Emilio. You could listen to Dr. Reed. You could listen to Jose Escobar. You could listen to Lancelot, Big Mo. I could keep naming gentlemen. Vinny Cochran, all of us collectively. We're all He-Man brothers.
Yeah.
That's our trunk, in how we came into this foundational aspect. Now, it doesn't say that, hey, we don't all have our own ventures. It's like Avengers, like literal Avengers. We all have our own thing. You got Captain America over here, you got the Incredible Hulk. But if you bring us all into the headquarters and we assemble as He-Men, God is going to be in the midst. It's going to be a lot of hugging, Gordon Melville style, heart to heart, and
Oh yeah,
everybody's just,
that's it.
sharing, and how's your family and how's your children doing, and brother, let's work on this. Let's do this project together. All of those things, man. I'm just grateful from the very first time I met you in Philadelphia, from the very first time I met Lancelot in Bristol, Tennessee, meeting Dr. Reed over a Zoom call. He's got his glasses on and he's all looking in the camera. And I'm like, who's this guy, man? Where are you from, bro? He's like, I'm from Charlotte. I'm from Charlotte. T.O. But all of these different gentlemen, shout out to Cutno and just gentlemen all around, Raul Marine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, these are special people, man.
Yeah.
And been able to share the foundational root of God, man, and the leadership tree. Um, that's why I love coming to New York with you, bro. New York is a special near and dear place to me.
Yeah.
I'm excited about NYC Experience Atlanta. It's
Oof.
on my heart. I'm
Oh
excited
man.
about unified leadership, man, and the different things that we have in play. And
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about unified leadership in March, right? March 13th through the 15th.
yes,
Uh,
bro.
Here's the thing, right? Are you coming to join us in March to be able to be unified with Coach Theo Clay and Sifu Rafael and every other leader who's going to be there?
Yeah,
Or are
bro.
you just going to say, oh, yeah, I don't know. What should I do?
Right, right.
Don't overthink it. Greatness doesn't wait for those who think it. Greatness
Mm-mm.
comes to those who act,
Yeah,
who
bro.
do something. So when we talk about the branches, that's one of the branches that we're talking about, right? Meetings, events, projects, speaking opportunities, visibility. Those are all branches. That's
Branches.
everything
Yes.
based on the root, the
Yes.
the trunk, right? Because most leaders, here's what happens, right? And this is why people get lost. So many leaders get so lost
Hmm.
because they overgrow their branches and starve the roots.
That's a fact. That's a fact,
So
bro. That's a bar right there.
it,
Phew.
if you think about this, right?
That's a bar.
If you don't water the root, you're going to have problems.
Yeah, bro.
What's going to wind up dying?
Yes,
The branches.
absolutely.
Eventually the trunk, and eventually the whole thing will be gone. So think about expansion without foundation. It's going to collapse. It's going to collapse every single time. So you need every aspect. You need God's gift, water,
Yeah,
right?
bro.
You need God's gift. You know what? A corporation, the water to a corporation are its people.
That's it.
That's the water. That's the strength behind it. You cannot have a big corporation or even a small business without customers, the people. Those are your branches. Those are the people you have to hold on to.
Yeah, bro.
And a lot of companies, the reason they go out is because they stop thinking about their branches and they don't water their roots, and which is their roots are the employees. So if you don't take care of your employees are not going to take care of your branches, which is your clients. So you're going to have a collapse every single time. And these are the conversations we're going to be having. These are the kind of lessons we're going to be teaching
Yeah, bro.
in New York in March 13th through the 15th. So the question that I have for everybody is, are you building something that will outlast?
Yeah, bro.
Are you
That's it.
scaling structure or scaling chaos?
Oh man, bro.
Are your results sustainable?
That's it, bro.
So growth without grounding, it's a liability. It
That's
truly
it.
becomes a liability. So here, I'm just going to share this with you if you don't mind, right?
Sure.
So where leaders go wrong and where they can fix things, right? They polish the branches, right?
Mhm.
Ignore the trunk. They never check the roots.
Mhm.
So here's why leaders burn out, why teams lose trust, because trust in a team is the most important. Coach Theo Clay can talk to you about all day long about combat. If you don't have trust, you're going to die.
Yes.
You can't trust the person who's next to you or behind you or in front of you. You're going to have trouble. So organizations collapse from the inside out because of trust. Because if you can't delegate without trust, you're going to have issues.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to hand it over to you in a sec, right? So think about this, right? We need to stabilize who we are as a person. Who we are as a leader is second. First person is you,
That's right.
always. And we need to do that. For you and me, Coach Theo Clay, I know you believe faith above all.
Yes.
So command your presence every single day. And the only reason I wasn't trying to throw somebody under the bus when I said that. I was accused
Absolutely.
yesterday of discrimination, because guess who's been discriminated against? Even though
Mhm.
I don't look like the person, because my name, my last name, I'm going to tell everybody, is Gomez. Does that
Mhm.
sound like a white name? No, not at all, right? So not at all. And all of a sudden, I'm put into a category because of my name. But if you and I had no names and we just had soul, your soul, nobody would see you as colored. Nobody would see me as Spanish or male or female. There would be no identity except for your soul. And I believe that is the foundation, the trunk, and the roots that will elevate you to another level. Join us March 13th through the 15th. I guarantee you, you're going to love it. And I'm going to say something to you. And if you come and on day one, you go, this sucks, we're going to give you money back. And I know Coach Theo Clay's like, what? You didn't tell.
No, that's true. That's true.
Right?
I agree with you.
It's not worth it.
I
Then
agree.
don't come back.
Yeah,
Right?
I agree with you, bro.
Thank you, brother. It's all
Man,
it's in your hands now.
thank you for those words, man. I know we're 1 hour in, and bro, just thank you for those words, man. Like it's so timely, it's so needed on many different levels, man. Yeah, everyday walk, for me, man, I'm a thinker. I can't help it, Sifu. I'm a thinker. Uh, I believe in the phrase that a man can only soar as high as he can think. I really do believe that. I do believe in overthinking. There is a such thing. Because, like you said, sometimes, man, you just have to implement. You have to trust your gut. You have to trust. Good evening from China. Wow,
Look at that.
that's out. Hey, that's beautiful, man. Shout out to China. Oh,
Yeah, Dennis. Hey, Dennis, how
yeah,
are you, buddy?
that is outstanding, man. Hey, much respect. Thank you for tapping in with us, brother. Dennis. And yeah, I all of those things when it comes to thinking but implementation, man, having faith and
Hmm.
being ground rooted in who you are. I love what you just said, Sifu, in terms of who you are as the person is going to show. You can't hide it. We can't hide behind these smoke and mirrors and smoke screens. Like who you really are is always going to show. And again, I firmly believe, man, in unified leadership. I know you do, brother. Sifu. Uh, Sifu is the precursor name to Rafael. Last name Gomez. You faced a lot of that craziness, man. I've faced the craziness, but it goes back to like you said, brother. And I'm just regurgitating because it's so powerful what you said. It's us, man. It's who you are first. Before you even utter the word leader out of your mouth, who
That's right.
are you first? How are you going to stand in those tough
Mm,
times, those ups, those downs? The money's low, money's high. Uh, the wind's blowing. Who are you? And I always say, man, as a United States Marine, man, we go on some arduous hikes. We call them humps. We're going on a hump on Friday, you all. We're stepping
mm,
off at 4:30 in the morning. It's still dark outside. And hey, we're going 26 miles. And what's in your pack is all your gear to survive.
that's
And don't play games and try to put a pillow in your backpack or something
right.
crazy. You better have your gear because halfway through, we just may stop at 13 miles and make everybody lay their gear out. And you don't want to be that one. But I always said, man, as a leader, if you're leading that pack of individuals, corporate America, clergy, sports, wherever you are,
Mm,
if you get to the top up there where hey, it's tough to breathe, like we talked about soaring high with the Eagles, and you turn around and you look and no one's behind you, you didn't lead anybody, man.
mm,
I'd rather keep looking over my shoulder, checking on everybody, making sure everybody's good to go. Because like you said, man, that's the foundation. The foundation. People fall apart all the time. We see music groups fall apart all the time. All those things, they're out there. We know it. But man, if you're rooted in God, as good brother Sifu Raphael said this morning, if you're rooted in God, bro, and you have a sense of who you really are, humble enough to understand that, hey, you're probably not the smartest person in the room.
mm.
Uh, I'm telling you, man, things will pan out. So I thank you this morning, brother. You really touched my heart, man, and I feel unified always.
I gotta say, one of the smartest decisions I made last year was
Mhm.
to ask you to help me put this together.
Man, thank you, brother. Me too, man. Me too, brother. I
Yeah.
mean that.
Yeah.
It's special, bro. This is special, man.
Agreed.
It
Agreed.
really is.
And so you and I are going to you're coming to Tampa for the New York City experience, and that's happening February 27th through March 1st. And if anybody wants to join us, it's sifurafael.com/NYC, right? Or just sifurafael.com. And I'll throw that up there. You can just go to my website and go to it there. But here's the thing. Even on there, if you go there, you're going to see Unified Leadership and our event in March. So that sifurafael.com is going to cover all of the events that are happening. We'd love to have you there.
Yeah.
But if your heart is not going to be there, then stay home.
That's right.
Stay home. If your growth mindset is going to not be there, stay home. If you think this is a Netflix and chill type of moment, stay home. Do that at home. Don't come join us, because we want live, physical people coming who want to ask questions, who want to explore, who want to make connections. This is why Coach Theo Clay and I are putting this together.
Yeah, bro.
So go to sifurafael.com. You're going to see everything that we're doing. And Coach Theo, I'm going to be blessed again at the end of this month because I get to be in your presence.
Yeah, bro. I'm excited too, man.
And we're going to talk about the logistics of when we get there and how we're going to get together. And listen, I already got a big SUV, so you're with me, man. So we're good.
Yeah, bro. I'm excited, man. Tampa, Florida, man, it's a special place. It's special down there, man. And you know, I shout out, man, Paul McFadden down there, and
yeah,
you know, my man, he's more closer to man, what's it called? Kissimmee, am I saying that right? Kissimmee, Florida. Down in that area, my man Ryan Claunch, originally from California.
He should be joining us, man.
I'd have to reach out to him, man. As a matter of fact, I need to hit him up. He'll probably come by, man, knowing that, you know, we down in the area.
So. Andre Butler, he's going to be there. Oh,
Shout
my God.
Shout out to Pastor Andre Butler. Yes, sir. I'm excited to hear. Yeah, excited to hear, man. All the speakers, you know, Andre's a phenomenal speaker, man.
He sure is.
And he's a He-Man brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, the tree trunk, the foundation. So it's all around, man. But love you so much, man. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And as always, brother, it's unified, man. When I look at that globe, I feel good, man, that my man chiming in from China, man. Like that's huge.
That is
man.
Worldwide, right?
That's beautiful, bro. It is.
All right, listen, everybody. Next week we have 2 incredible guests. Make sure you chime in with us, and we're going to talk about something that's going to upset somebody, but we're going to wrap it around because sometimes we can't always be comfortable.
Right. It's not leadership, bro. Leadership is not comfortable, bro. And that's why we're diving on these tough topics, Sifu. Somebody today that listens to this knows 100%. If you go on Google right now and type in leadership, it's going to give you all the fluffy, you know. But this here, it's different, man. The leadership tree is different. So I appreciate you, brother. I keep saying it because I really do. Like, as a leadership coach, I know a lot of people want to avoid the tough topics, bro, for the comfort. And that's not what we represent.
We don't. And we will never. Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Peace, you all.
Unified leadership. Let's move. Let's lead. Let's ride. Unified leadership. Like the flame. Turn it up loud. Remember the name. Unified leadership.